Haribo. Sorry, everyone. I'm on a crash course for learning how to run YouTube and live stream, and I can't do it. I can't give class, manage Zoom, and manage YouTube. I'm not that gifted. So I won't bother doing YouTube. I'll just try and get my head around back to basics. I'll do Zoom and I'll worry about the other later on. Great. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha
Radha Madhava
Madhava
Kunja
Kunja
Bihari
Bihari
Gopi Janvalabha Girivaradhari
Jaya
Jai
Gopi
Gopi
Janava
Janvalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana Yashoda
Yashodanandana
Nandana Brajjana Ranjana
Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Manachari Yamuna
Tira Vanachari
Manachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabi Hari
Jaya
Radha Madhava
Madhava Kunja
Kunjabi Hari
Hari
Gopi Janvalabha Girivaradhari
Jaya
Jai Gopi Janvalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana
Yashodanandana
Nandana Brajjana Ranjana
Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jamuna
Yamuna
Tira
Tira
Vanachari
Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo, Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo, Jai Jaya Prabhupada,
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Prabhupada, Jai
Jaya
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 Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jai
Jaya
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 Prabhupada,
Prabhupada,
Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jaya Gurudev,
Jaya
Jai
Jaya
Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev, Jai
Jaya
Jaya Gurudev.
Gurudev. Gaur Premanandi.
Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om
ॐ नमो
Namo
भगवते
Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Narottamam
नरोत्तमं
Devim
Devim
देवीं
Saraswatim
सरस्वतीं
Vyasam
Saraswatyam
Tato
व्यासं ततो
Jayamudiraye
जयमुदीरयेत्
Nashtaprayeshu
नष्टप्रायेषु
Abhadreshu Nityam
अभद्रेषु
Bhagavata
नित्यं
Sevaya
भागवतसेवया
Bhagavati Uttama
भगवती
Shloke Bhakti
उत्तमश्लोके
Bhavati Nashtaki.
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Today we're reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30 and verse 27. So we'll recite together. Rupam Bhagavata Tvayetad.
Rupam Bhagavata
भगवता
Tvayetad.
Rupam Bhagavata Tvayetad.
Rupam
रूपां
Bhagavata
भगवता
Tvayetad.
त्वयेतत्
Ashesha Klesha Shankshayam.
अशेषक्लेशसंशयम्
Ashesha
Ashesha Klesha Shanksayam.
अशेषक्लेशसंशयम्
Aviskritam na klistanam.
आविष्कृतं न क्लिस्तानम्
Aviskritam na klistanam.
आविष्कृतं न क्लिस्तानम्
Kim anyadanukampitam.
किम् अन्यदनुकम्पितम्
Kim anyad anukampitam.
किम् अन्यदनुकम्पितम्
Rupam Bhagavata Tve etad.
Rupam Bhagavata Tvayeta
Ashisha Klesha Sanksayam
Ashesha Klesha Sanshayam
Aviskritam na klistanam
Aviskritam na Kristanam
Klimanyad anukampitam.
Kim Manyadanukampitam.
Please chant.
Rupam Bhagavata Etad
Rupam Bhagavata Tvayeta
Ashesha Klesha Sankshayam
Ashesha Klesha Sanshayam
Aviskritam Naha Klistanam
Aviskritam na Klistanam
Kim Anyad Anukampitam
Kim Manyadanukampitam. Rupam Bhagavata Tvayetad
Rupam Bhagavata Etad
Asesha Klesha Sanshayam
Ashesha
Aviskritam na Klistanam
Aviskritam Naha Klistanam
Kim Manyad Anukampitam.
Kim Anyad Anukampitam
Rupam Bhagavato etad
Rupam Bhagavata Tvayetad
Asesha Klesha Sankshayam
Asesha Klesha Sanshayam
Aviskritam na Klishtanam
Aviskritam na Klistanam
Kim Aniyad Anukampitam
Kim Manyadanukampitam.
Rupam Bhagavata Tvetad
Rupam Bhagavata Tvayetad
Asesha Klesha Sankshayam
Ashesha Klesha
Klesha
Sanshayam
Aviskritam na Klishtanam
Aviskritam na Klistanam
Kim Anyadanukampitam
Kim Manyadanukampitam.
Thank you. Let's move to word for word. Rupam,
Rupam
form.
Form
Bhagavata,
Bhagavata
by your lordship.
By your
by your
lordship.
lordship
Two,
Two.
but
But
etat,
Etat
this.
this
Ashesha,
Ashesha
unlimited.
Unlimited
unlimited
Klesha,
Klesha
miseries.
miseries
Sankshayam,
Sanshayam
which dissipates.
which dissipates
Aviskritam,
Aviskritam
Aviskritam
revealed.
revealed
Na,
Naha
of us.
of
of
us
us
Klistanam,
Klistanam
who are suffering from material conditions.
who are suffering from material conditions.
Kim Anyat,
Kim Anyat
what to speak of.
what to
what
speak
to
of
speak of
Anukampitam,
Anukampitam.
those to whom you are always favorably disposed.
Those to whom
we
are
are
always favorably disposed.
And thank you. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
We'll read together. Dear Lord,
Dear
Dear
Lord,
Lord,
we conditioned souls
we conditioned souls
are always covered by ignorance
are always covered by ignorance
in the bodily conception of life.
in the bodily conception of life.
We therefore always prefer
We
we
therefore always prefer
prefer
the miserable conditions of material existence.
the miserable conditions of material existence,
to deliver us from these miserable conditions,
to
to
deliver
deliver us
us
from these
from these
miserable conditions.
you have advented yourself in this transcendental form.
You have
You have
advented
advented
yourself in this transcendental form.
This is evidence of your unlimited
This is
This is evidence of your unlimited,
causeless mercy
causeless mercy
upon those of us
upon those of us
who are suffering in this way.
who are suffering in this way.
Then what to speak of the devotees
Then what to speak of the devotees
to whom you are always so favorably disposed?
to whom you are always so favorably disposed?
Thank you. Purport. Please listen. When the Lord appears in his original form, he acts to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants. Bhagavad Gita 4.8. Although he annihilates the demons, he nonetheless benefits them. It is said that all the living entities who died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original constitutional position, Svarupa, because they had the chance to see Krishna face to face, riding in the chariot of Arjuna. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, superficially, two things were going on. The demons were being killed, and the devotee, Arjuna, was being protected. However, the results were the same for everyone. Thus it is said that the appearance of the Lord diminishes all kinds of miserable conditions caused by material existence. It is clearly stated in this verse that this form, Ashesha Klesha Shankshayam, is meant to diminish all the miserable conditions experienced in life, not only by the devotees, but by all others. Avisikritam naha klistanam. The Prachetas identified themselves as common men. Kim anyad anukampitam. The devotees are always favorably accepted by the Lord. The Lord shows all mercy, not only to conditioned souls, but also to the devotees, who are already liberated due to their devotional service. The form of the Lord is worshipped in the temples. Is called Acha Vigraha or Acha Vatara, the worshipable form, the deity incarnation. And this facility is offered to neophyte devotees so that they can see the real form of the Lord face to face and offer their respectful obeisances and sacrifices in the form of Acha. Through such facilities, the neophytes gradually invoke their original Krishna consciousness. Deity worship in the form of temple worship is the most valuable benediction given by the Lord to beginners. All neophytes must therefore engage in the worship of the Lord by keeping the Acha Vigraha or Acha Vatara at home or in the temple. Om Agyantimirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshulun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivisesha Shunyavad Pashtita Disatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome everyone to class. Thank you very much for joining class this morning. And before we begin, please may I ask for your blessings and your forgiveness if I make any offenses or mistakes. Thank you. So today's class, today's verse and purport are very beautiful. The Prachetas, they understand their situation as conditioned beings under a veil of ignorance, misidentifying with the body only. So like this, they have preferred miserable material lives, and they recognize that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has actually advented himself. He's come personally before them. This is very special. This is proof of his causeless mercy, that he shows how much he cares and protects everyone. And it shows this protection afforded to not only the devotee, to everyone actually. What to speak of the devotees he actually favors. And when Krishna appears in his original form, he has come to deliver the devotee and annihilate the demons. Krishna destroys the demons and he benefits them too. Everyone who died at the battle of Kurukshetra attained their swarup, their original constitutional position, simply due to the fact that they saw Krishna directly with Arjuna. At that battle, two things occurred at the same time. These demons were killed, and also the devotee Arjuna was saved or sheltered. And actually everyone involved in that battle ultimately received the same result. So when the Lord himself appears, he immediately vanquishes misery and miserable conditions everywhere. Stated in this verse, Ashesha Klesha Shankshayam, this form is meant to destroy all miseries in life, for both the devotees and for everyone else too. The Prachetas humbly position themselves as just ordinary men, and yet the humble devotees are always favored and very much accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna shows all mercies to both the conditioned souls and the liberated devotees who are engaged in his devotional service. Krishna is worshipped in temples as Acha Vigraha, the worshipable deity form of God. And this helps us neophytes to see the Lord, to see the Lord's form, to see him face to face. This is such a blessing, so that we may respectfully pay our obeisances and offer our sacrifices in this way. The neophyte gradually, steadily increases their original Krishna consciousness. This is the greatest gift given to beginning practitioners of the Supreme. All new devotees can engage in the regular worship of God by serving the Acha Vigraha, the deity, both at home and at the temple. So in this purport today, we can see that the Prachetas have shown all humility to the Lord, and they acknowledged that for some time, whilst in a conditioned state, they preferred the miseries of material life. Non-devotees will actually enjoy the suffering of the material world due to their ignorance. But the devotee, on the other hand, who is always under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, they reject material mundane life and choose instead to try and please Krishna through preaching his glories and giving service to his devotees, especially to our gurus and to Srila Prabhupada. So for today's class, I will try to speak on how non-devotees, everyday people, actually prefer their miserable lives. And I'll try to compare that to the lives of devotees who are actually protected by Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada compares non-devotees to being like street dogs who have no master. So today we'll use some generic internet sites to discuss a little bit about the life and times. This is just one example I could think of Elon Musk and his personal happiness, if you like, or misery. And then we'll also try and take a little glimpse, expand on that example of Elon and look at societal happiness or societal misery, that slightly bigger picture. And then, of course, we'll compare that picture of the non-devotees with the devotees who are protected always by Krishna. Very happily so. So it might be a slightly short class. We'll see. So after a generic Google search on Elon Musk, and I just picked him randomly. Obviously, there are a few, 4 or 5 incredibly wealthy, successful, powerful identities on planet Earth currently. His name comes up. So in March 2026, Elon Musk shows that he's the world's richest man and arguably one of the most powerful men on Earth too. Predicted to be the first trillionaire very soon, as his business ventures into space travel boom. Elon was born in Pretoria, South Africa in 1971. He's same age as me, slightly younger. He's an entrepreneur and CEO known for his many companies, including, but not limited to, SpaceX for reusable rockets, Tesla for electric cars, and PayPal and Twitter for money and social media, etc. His businesses focus on sustainable energy, space colonization, and AI, or artificial intelligence. It's very big these days. AI development, often ranking as the world's topmost, wealthiest person. He taught himself how to code at age 12 and started selling video games as a teenager. He moved to Canada to avoid apartheid and avoid doing his compulsory military service. Later, he dropped out of Stanford University to pursue his various business ventures and opportunities. Now, based on his public statements in early 2026, Elon Musk is not consistently happy, often indicating that immense wealth does not guarantee emotional fulfillment. Despite his high net worth, he has described his life as having terrible lows and high stress. He's now focusing more on his work, children, and long-term goals over his material satisfaction. Key insights into Elon Musk's happiness are: money can't buy happiness, in a post. In February 2026, Musk posted on X, previously known as Twitter, that money does not buy happiness, reflecting that even with immense wealth, personal joy is not guaranteed. Not often happy, he discloses. Musk has openly stated that he is not often happy. and has acknowledged struggling with his own mental health, noting that his work is often high stress and exhausting. Family over wealth. Musk has expressed that his children bring him more happiness than material possessions or money. Tortured persona. Reports have suggested that Elon Musk has faced long-term personal struggles characterized by his intense, long working weeks and his very demanding lifestyle. Comparison to other wealth. While some, like Mark Cuban, have suggested that happiness depends on a person's temperament, Musk's own experience points to the limitations of wealth in achieving personal satisfaction. Elon Musk shared a quick word about money not buying happiness. In quote marks, "Kids make you happier than any material possessions. I've never smiled because of money," said Elon Musk, "and I've come to realize that wealth has its limitations." Gosh. So to summarize here, Elon Musk is not very happy being super rich. Various social media quotes and posts have all repeatedly indicated that Elon Musk is just not happy, even though he's super rich. And while his immense wealth affords him so many resources and unlimited comforts, it cannot help everything, including happiness. Even with $850 billion to his name, Elon Musk admits money can't buy happiness. So why do we endeavor so hard for all this money, this wealth, some fame and power too, when we know this does not automatically equate to an equally high level of joy and satisfaction? But like the most mundane default setting in our society, we assume that money and wealth buys comfort and happiness. But here it is, presented as a fact. No, having money and power and influence does not necessarily mean you will become automatically happy and blissful. They are actually not related at all. So moving now from this one crude, basic example of one singular person not being so happy despite their great material assets, we also have entire societies, entire communities of peoples who can also be quite miserable despite having so much wealth and affluence. So many resources available in their particular society or country. And there is a term that coins this phenomenon: miserable abundance. Refers to the experiencing deep dissatisfaction or unhappiness despite possessing wealth, material possessions, and of so many, of such high value, or having numerous options. This paradox occurs when the pursuit of more causes anxiety, or when an overload of choices leads to decision paralysis and reduced enjoyment of what one has. It is a state where plenty feels like or leads to a scarcity of joy. And key aspects of this miserable abundance: it's the paradox of choice. An abundance of options, e.g. in shopping or dating, leads to lower satisfaction, decision fatigue and regret over potential better choices. And we can see that strongly here in wealthy nations. We don't have one shop to go to. We've got hundreds of shops to go to. We don't look for one pair of earrings. We have thousands and thousands of options to choose from. We're inundated, actually. And the more trap Constant pursuit of more success, wealth, or status leads to a never enough mindset, causing us anxiety and jealousy and a failure to appreciate our current achievements. And there is a loss of value around, this is one of the key aspects of our miserable abundance, a loss of value. Abundance can diminish the perceived value of items, making them mundane and removing the joy that comes with their scarcity or anticipation. Empty success. Having resources without purpose or connection. I can relate to this. Empty success. Having resources without purpose or connection leads to a feeling of being empty, as mentioned elsewhere, which discusses historical views on wealth and contentment associated with being miserable, associated with being in a miserable existence. And I'll talk a bit about that in a minute. But also abundance syndrome, a term for the modern wealthy or comfortable life where individuals have so much that they do not attach sentimental or even personal value to their possessions. Causes and solutions. Some of the root causes are cultural pressures, cognitive biases, or a scarcity mindset. Worrying about losing what we have can make us feel very uncomfortable. Proposed solutions would be cultivating gratitude, focusing on internal growth rather than external acquisitions, and limiting choices can help combat this feeling. So look, to summarize here, we human beings actually prefer these miserable lives, chasing wealth and fame or some prestige, to be considered important and to have some great influence over others. Due to our belief in material nature and these bodily designations, we think these lives are for our enjoyment and for our accumulating wealth and becoming the biggest and the bestest of something, anything, because that's the goal of life, right? Isn't it? To beat everyone else, to win over my competition, and to travel lavishly on private jets, and to own opulent houses and immense mansions, and then drive ultimate luxury cars, because that's what life's all about. To have so much material success means guaranteed happiness, right? Well, no. These examples of Elon Musk and his business acumen and all the money in the world, and even Elon Musk himself boldly declares, actually, money does not buy happiness. Very good, Elon. And then we also have whole societies, whole communities who have so much wealth and resources afforded to them that this kind of excessive abundance becomes its own special misery. Having too many options, too many equally great things to choose from, and then always somehow wanting more and more, therefore never feeling very satisfied. And when we have too much of anything, it loses its value to us. And here's the key. When we have wealth without purpose, this leads to us feeling a little empty inside. And that's the key here with some of these points that I've made, that without proper purpose, without a deeper meaning, without God to connect with and to connect our actions to and activities with, this is quite the miserable life. So even without some of these extreme examples, I'm sure we can relate to people who have so much and yet are so miserable because it's material only. So now let's compare this to the devotee and how Krishna reciprocates with his sincere devotees. And actually, Krishna always protects his devotee. Krishna is quick to offer his shelter to the devotees who turn to him and surrender unto him. He reciprocates so nicely with his ongoing protection. And this is a reading now I'll share with you all from Krishna.com, a bona fide website written by His Grace Satsvarup Das Goswami. Krishna protects his devotees. Because Krishna wants us to enter his elite group of personal associates, he is ever eager to help us develop our love for him. Dhruva Maharaj performed austerities to gain a kingdom greater than that of his grandfather, Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. By the grace of the Saint Narada, however, Dhruva received the audience of Lord Vishnu. After being touched by the Lord's conch shell, Dhruva offered prayers to the Lord. The last verse of his prayers sums up his previous materialistic attitude and his present devotional one. My Lord, O Supreme Lord, you are the supreme personified form of all benedictions. Therefore, for one who abides in your devotional service with no other desire, worshipping your lotus feet is better than becoming king and lording it over a kingdom. To ignorant devotees like me, you are the causeless, merciful maintainer, just like a cow who takes care of the newly born calf by supplying milk and giving it protection from attack. Dhruva originally epitomized the type of devotee who approaches the Lord to have his material desires fulfilled. After meeting Lord Vishnu, however, Dhruva realized how cheap that material desire was. I like to study Dhruva Maharaj's prayers because although we have no such great material ambitions, our material ambitions extend only to a little insignificant sense enjoyment or sense gratification, we can relate to Dhruva's transformation. We have spent lifetimes thinking ourselves the center of enjoyment. Now we have turned to Krishna consciousness with the hope of freeing ourselves from suffering or material desire and of coming to pure love of God. Dhruva Maharaj has realized that serving Krishna's lotus feet is much more relishable than the enjoyment of even a hugely opulent kingdom in the material world. So he prays to Vishnu as the protector of one on the devotional path, similar to a cow protecting her calf. And what is Vishnu protecting the devotee from? From himself, from his own defective nature. In the first sentence of the purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada writes, Dhruva Maharaj was cognizant of the defective nature of his own devotional service. Even those fortunate enough to come in touch with the Krishna conscious movement to hear the message of bhakti will not automatically be free of mistakes. We are faulty beings, and it takes time before we learn to offer our service in a pure way. Here Dhruva describes Krishna as being active in our coming to the pure stage. Unfortunately, we don't always value his participation. Often, devotees think that Krishna consciousness is so much a science that everything must happen by our own endeavor. They imagine Krishna at the top of a long line of pure devotees, sharing his pastimes with them and not thinking much of those further down the line. If we are not pure, we may think Krishna cares less for us than those fully surrendered. We think that the path of bhakti has been scientifically organized and that Krishna remains neutral, waiting for our purity to develop, at which time he will love us more. In the meantime, we try to hoist ourselves up from one stage to another. Uncompromising devotion. Of course, the truth is that we are not pure, we are defective. This fact was prominent in Dhruva Maharaja's mind, and he felt a deep regret to see how materially motivated he had been. His regret lasted even beyond his audience with Krishna. And the truth is that pure devotion is uncompromising. Anya bila shita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. We must offer our love without being motivated by karma or material endeavors, or jnana, some mental speculation. We must learn to want only Krishna's pleasure. Neither of these truths, that aspiring devotees are not pure and that pure devotion is uncompromising, means that Krishna has no mercy toward a devotee before he or she comes to the unmotivated stage. Rather, like a cow, Krishna gives his calves milk and also protects them from danger. Although in the material sense a cow is herself vulnerable to danger in this world, she is prepared to give her life to protect her calf. Also, the calf remains completely dependent on the mother. A calf will follow its mother without regard for where she is going. The mother in turn shows even more tender concern for her calf. Krishna exemplifies this tender concern towards his faltering bhaktas. What makes us so helpless, so dependent on Krishna is not simply our smallness in the material energy, but the misleading desires within our hearts. Any mother knows that an infant is at risk not only from outside influences, but from the child's own nature. Of course, despite Krishna's tender concern, he will not interfere with the free will of all living entities. To receive his mercy, we must reveal some level of sincerity or inclination toward him. In Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavat Amrita, after Gopa Kumara finally returns to the spiritual world, Krishna embraces him and says, "I'm happy that you have come back. For so long I was awaiting an opportunity to bring you to me." Why did Krishna not simply rescue Gopakumar from the material world? Because we have free will. Krishna will never take that from us. His liberal attitude is that of a kind parent. Krishna provides his children space to grow as they will, yet remains loving toward them and prepared to help if they turn to him. In Bhagavad Gita, he says that he provides the intelligence by which we can return to him. He also says that he provides what we lack and carries what we have, and that he is the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Even if these points are still just theoretical for us, we should acknowledge the truth of the Lord's intention toward us. We should not refuse Krishna's gestures of protection. If we accept that our service is defective, that our hearts are filled with gross and subtle material desires, and that we are lost without Krishna's guidance, we will be better able to accept that guidance in the form that he gives it. He is always giving it. We can pray to him to protect us, to help us give up the lower stages of bhakti in favor of the higher forms of surrender, and to clarify our intelligence so that it is filled only with him. If our main purpose in life is to attain bhakti, we should trust Krishna to maintain our attempt. Krishna is, after all, the causelessly merciful maintainer, just like a cow who gives milk and protection from attack. Real protection. One of the symptoms of surrender is to know Krishna as the maintainer. In our stage, we often look to the Lord to protect us materially. We shouldn't just look to Krishna to protect our possessions, however. Although Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam provides prayers such as the Narayana Kavacha, shield, wherein mantras are chanted over different parts of the body to provide armor against gross and subtle weapons, we are not interested in seeking Krishna's protection so that we can survive more comfortably in our material bodies. We see Krishna as the protector of our bhakti. We pray that our bhakti, our service to the spiritual master, our attempts to progress in chanting and hearing may not be diverted or deviated. The knowledge we receive from Bhagavad Gita is the sword with which we can slay our doubts. Krishna has also given us his elder brother, Balaram, to help us. It is Balaram who provides us with the strength to wield the heavy sword of knowledge. We will never become materially exhausted, never left without Krishna's mercy in the form of the knowledge he provides us. Any advancement in Krishna consciousness is Krishna's gift to us. We need to trust in that. The material world is full of jivas trying to enjoy, as Chiro Dakshai Vishnu, Krishna, maintains all of them. How much more will he maintain his devotees? The materially engrossed jivas receive his maintenance through the neutral auspices of the Supersoul, who guides their wanderings according to their karmic activities and desires. Krishna himself personally attends to the relatively small group of souls who are interested in his direct love and protection. Krishna's elite group. Sorry, someone's got their mic open. Can you just have a look down and close your microphone, please, devotees? I can't do it at the moment. Thank you. Krishna's elite group. In this regard, Prabhupada once commented that devotees have monopolized devotional service. They have concerned the market. They have cornered. Okay, I can still hear something. I'm just going to mute. Sorry, I can hear someone chanting. Thank you. Thank you. Krishna's elite group. In this regard, Prabhupada once commented that devotees have monopolized devotional service. They have cornered the market with their love. Still, the bhakti market is open to any who wishes to pursue it. As soon as a jiva understands that Krishna is the maintainer of all, the attempt to approach him he welcomes that jiva into his elite group. And when we relate to Krishna personally in this way, we receive his heart. This is Krishna's real nature. His desire is to reciprocate with his devotees, Bhakta Vatsala. Because he is responsible, he maintains all living entities, although he does it through his expansions and energies. But because he is Bhakta Vatsala, he offers himself to his devotees. Therefore, devotional service is really achieved. But anyone who wants to try for devotional service can gain entrance. Despite their faults, Krishna will help those who want to enter. He wants his elite group to expand. He wants us to take to devotional service for our own sake. Why shouldn't he help us? Of course. Material attachment may mean we don't value the form in which his protection comes, just as a calf may not always appreciate the mother's insistence on a certain path. Still, Krishna is there and he is protecting us. So to summarize here, Dhruva Maharaj, he realized that serving Krishna's lotus feet is much more relishable than the enjoyment of even a hugely opulent kingdom. So he prays to Vishnu as the protector of one of the devotional path, similar to a cow protecting her calf. And what is Vishnu protecting us from? From ourselves, from our defective natures. Krishna protects us and he never interferes with our own free will. He will always protect his sincere devotees, and in fact he provides a level of protection and comfort to all living beings. However, Bhaktavatsala specifically means Krishna reciprocates with his loving devotees, with those who are offering him service. They have a special spot in his heart. He has this elite group of devotees that are drawn closer to him. So this is the kind of relationship we want to have with Krishna, where he is, yes, always offering us protection, whether we know it or not. He's there. The protection is there. And it is afforded even more so, more blatant, if you like, for his sincere devotee. And we'll end now with the last reading. It's very quick. From Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, verses 30 to 31. Within the purport, this is a quote I'll take. The living entity's position is herein likened to a dog's. By chance, a dog may have a very rich owner, and by chance, he may become a street dog. The living entity's position is herein likened to a dog's. By chance, a dog may have a rich owner, and by chance, he may become a street dog. As the dog of a rich man, he will live very opulently. Sometimes in Western countries, we hear of a master leaving millions of dollars to a dog in his will. Of course, there are many dogs loitering in the street without food. Therefore, to liken the conditional existence of the living entity to that of a dog is very appropriate. An intelligent human being, however, can understand that if he has to live the life of a dog, he had best become Krishna's dog. In the material world, a dog is sometimes elevated and is sometimes on the street. But in the spiritual world, Krishna's dog is perpetually, eternally happy. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore sung, Vaishnava Thakur, Tomara Kukura, Baliya Janaha More. In this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur offers to become a Vaishnava's dog, A dog always keeps himself at his master's door and does not allow any person unfavorable to the master to enter. Similarly, one should engage in the service of a Vaishnava and try to please him in every respect. Unless one does so, he does not make spiritual advancement. And this is a famous, that ends that little reading. It's a famous quote, and certainly Srila Prabhupada makes many references throughout Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that we are all like dogs with no master. We are just aimlessly wandering and fighting and barking amongst each other with no kind of caring master to look after us and give us shelter. But for the devotee, we have our master, and we have our dog collars, our dog tags. Srila Prabhupada referred to our Tulsi beads like this, which show everyone we have a master. We are not strays. No, we know to whom we belong, and that is Krishna. And we know to whom we serve, and that is Krishna. And we know who protects us always. That is Krishna. So with that, I'd like to stop here. If there are any questions or comments, please open your mic and ask away or share any realizations. That'll be lovely. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jamuna.
Hare Bol Mataji.
Radhamani Radha here. Thank you very much, Jamuna. Such a beautiful class. I really appreciate. And, this is actually eye-opener for us. We might not be like Elon Musk, but this gives us the eye-opening, even if we are not at his level. But the thing is that because of being a devotee, you can understand that everything belongs to Krishna. And whatever we have, if we use in the service of Krishna, of course we need something for our needs. And as many times we read about, we need only to keep our, body and soul together. But the point here is that if we use whatever we have, or whatever amount, even the percentage, that for Krishna's service, and that makes us happy. Yeah. Elon Musk has got so much of money, and when you have got so much of money, it's not Elon Musk. We have seen in India, like I can mention Ambani's and Adani's and all that. So That's much right. of money they have got. I know they are also spiritual, like they do some sort of donations and open hospitals and things like that. They are doing all these things, but at the same time, material enjoyment is there. But what we as devotees, we feel happy in the association of devotees, chanting, having kirtans, and of course going to our temples. And so many devotees are doing deity worship. I used to do in Sydney when I was there. I used to dress Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in Radha Gopinath temple in Sydney. And it was so exciting. I had a full-time job practicing. And but on Sundays, myself and my Prabhu, we used to go in the morning, so that we can dress up and worship Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. And I think it is a mercy that we do that. And Krishna is protecting us. Not we are talking about material protection. Of course, he does that too. But he's actually protecting our devotional service. And though I'm not able to do much physically, so whatever I can do, I can do. But I think this is being a devotee, that we are so thankful to Srila Prabhupada that we are in this movement of Krishna consciousness. And you don't I it's just last week, I met one devotee. She was a devotee for many years in Sydney. I won't name her, and she was there. And she was talking about that I don't have any friends, and she was saying, you come to my home and this and that. And I told her, we have got home, this temple, such a beautiful temple. And you come over here and we can all associate here. We don't need separate, that home to your home. Of course, if you are having some kirtans or some sort of program, we love to come. But the thing is that we do get so much attached to these material things, and seeing that, oh, I have got such a beautiful home, big home and all that, and I want people to come. But the point for us is that to invite people into your beautiful home and have a kirtan and then have prasad. So this is how we can actually engage others also. It's very unfortunate when somebody is actually separated from this movement due to something happened in the past, and they go away from, they do come to the temples, but, you feel that, they are feeling so lonely. Yeah, but going to the temples and having association, and now we are having this Zoom classes and hearing. So it's so nice that we can have association. I feel for me, it is very important to have association. And if I can't have association or devotees, I think I'm just left out and, I can't do anything. Thank you very much for wonderful class and giving us examples and from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and of course in the material world. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Bol, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, I often think, we really do have to engage intelligence around service. I think I'm very lucky. My guru was here recently and I received Brahmin initiation, so I'm hoping to start some training in formal training in deity worship at the temple. And I understand that it's really important that we have a variety of services to be able to offer, because as human beings, we change, we evolve, things become sharper, things become more faded. And I think for me personally, I can see it very important that I learn how to do a variety of services, so that as things gradually start to fall down, which they do with time and age and illness, that there'll be something else that I can do. If I can't give class because my brain is turned to mush, due to illness, then I can do this. And if I can't do this because of whatever, and I think it's very important as devotees that we try to engage in our intelligence around a variety of services, so that we're always got something to do for Krishna. So thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? Thank you everyone for attending. We'll end there. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Hari Hari Bol.
All glories to
Hare Krishna.
our grace Jamuna Devi Dasi ki jai.